Hello and good evening, Facebook. We are live in Las Cruces, New Mexico, SouthWest Brawl 7, and I hope you can hear me with how loud it is. We are live, and in just a moment, I will have this also live on the Cage Minds Combat Sports News. Or we are live on Cage Minds Combat Sports News Facebook page. Will we be live on the CageMinds.com website in just a moment. I hope you guys are ready for an action-packed night of MMA. Top amateurs from across the Southwest are all here in Las Cruces, New Mexico to prove that they have what it takes to earn that label of prospect. A lot of young men tonight making their amateur debuts. You are tuned in live to the Cage Minds Combat Sports News stream of American Fight League's SouthWest Brawl 7 here in Las Cruces, New Mexico at the Las Cruces Convention Center. If you're seeing this and you're close enough locally, there's still time to make it to get here to join us live and watch the action from right in front of your own face. Color guard is in the cage, and we'll have live fights here in just a moment. special dance choreography number to be done right now. And that special performance was brought to you by Thug Hip Hop Dance Studio. Ring announcer is re-entering the cage. We should be moments away from tonight's first fight. We're ready for fight number one. First out of the locker room will be Joseph Tapia from Albuquerque, New Mexico. This is a 140-pound catchweight bout that has come together on just days' notice. Talking to Tapia backstage, he said he's taking this fight on 3 days' notice. Joseph Tapia tonight will be fighting out of Latrell Yee MMA and Fitness. Talking with Joseph, he's been doing MMA training for the past 4 years, coming off of a spectacular Darius Troke submission victory at the Jackson's MMA series just recently up at Buffalo Thunder. In his corner tonight, a power corner, Andreas the Bullet Quintana, Combate America superstar, and coach Chris Luttrell from Latrell Yee MMA. Making his way out second, John Calderon, representing El Paso, fighting out of Arso MMA and 10th Planet. Been training for 3 years, and when asked, considered himself a grappler. Favorite submission when asked? Said the Darius choke. So let's be looking for that Darius choke. See if he'll be wanting to get to that position when his opponent, if his opponent, shoots in for a takedown. Both men then favoring the Darius choke. Could be an interesting one if they hit the ground. Hope you got the popcorn ready. It's time for the first fight. The bell has rang. Southwest Brawl 7 is officially underway. Tapia aggressive early with those right hands. Into the clinch we go. Good knees from Tapia in the body. Still though, Calderon with the double underhooks. Good use of that wizard to stay standing. Calderon locking up that right leg, getting the grapevine in, looking for a takedown. The Tapia wizard doing wonders to prevent the takedown. Calderon determined to get this to the ground, but eating a good amount of strikes to the body in this clinch. Finally returned with one. I think Tapia may balance disrupted. Calderon to his back, regains the guard, has that butterfly hook in. Sorry, ladies and gentlemen, I'll catch you up with what I'm seeing. Big elbows from Tapia. Leg lock attempt. Tapia trying to get out of there. Calderon almost has the calf slicer if he's able to pull his opponent back. Wrenching the leg. Tapia hunting that neck. Calderon solidifying the top position. Back up to his feet is Joseph Tapia. Working the left arm under the neck. Calderon once again finds the takedown into the half guard. Has his arm trapped underneath them, but looking to really hold the position, it looks like from here. Calderon, three-quarter mount. Tapia gives the back. Calderon too high. We're in the final 10 seconds of the first round, and we have the bell. Fun first round right there. Calderon definitely wanting to get this one to the ground. It's that amateur debut. Looking at him, how is he feeling now after the first round is done? Peek on over to the Tapia corner. Latrell Yee and Andreas Quintana doing work. We're back for round two. Calderon still wants us on the ground. Calderon with Tapia literally trapped against the door to the cage here, still hunting for the takedown. Referee Joel Ojeda stepped in, said he needed to see some work. Both fighters immediately begin to try to advance position. Very good balance being displayed by Tapia. Calderon sticking to the thought of wanting this matchup on the canvas. Again, another knee on the inside from Tapia, loving the short strikes to the body that he's throwing. For my money so far, the more significant strikes have obviously been landed by Tapia. Calderon determined to have this one on the ground, but unsuccessful in getting there at this point. Calderon with strikes to back up Tapia. We are once again on the cage. Positional dominance by John Calderon here. This spot on the cage, though, Tapia has the benefit of being right in his corner, possibly better able to hear the advice from coaches Quintana and Luttrell. The Arco corner / 10th Planet asking for more action from their fighter, John Calderon, wanting to see strikes in the clinch here. Swing and a miss with the head kick from Tapia. We have a scramble. One hook in from Calderon. But Tapia peeling the back off with the cage. Has the double underhooks. We hit the ground. This time, Tapia will be on top. It looks like as the round will end. We've heard the 10-second clacker already. We have hit the end of round number 2. Thomas Horton is a part of fight number 3, and Aaron Taylor is a part of fight number 7. Once again, we take a look into the John Calderon corner. And our first amateur fight of the night has entered the 3rd round. If you're just joining us again, in the blue trunks is John Calderon, and taking the fight on 3 days' notice in the black trunks is Joseph Tapia. You are once again watching Southwest Brawl 7. Presented by American Fight League here at the Las Cruces Convention Center in Las Cruces, New Mexico. Calderon wanted the fight on the ground, and thanks to an ill-timed kick, he has the fight there. Advancing, cutting through that half guard is Calderon, has made his way to mount. Tapia trying to hold on, has to do something here though. Big thudding elbow from Calderon. Tapia turning, he has his feet on the cage. Watch for him to try to push off. Just kind of pushed himself into the center, though wasn't able to get that bucking, bridging explosion he wanted. Calderon has wanted the fight on the ground for all 7 minutes that we've been in the cage now. really needs to go for the finish here. Tapia is exposing the neck. Calderon landing some short shots. Calderon has locked in the body triangle, is hunting for the neck, punching with that right hand. Tapia has now been able to clasp both hands, basically, has them trapped. Positional control once again by John Calderon here. Calderon frees up the right arm, is again trying to sink it under the neck. Tapia exploding to stand. Tapia trying to buck, looking for the wrist control. Almost has Calderon off and is almost in top position. Calderon looks to be reestablishing the hooks and is turning to get the back, keeping chest to back pressure. Calderon is now all the way on the bottom. Last 10 seconds, couple short shots from Tapia. Most decisively, this third round was John Calderon's. We'll see how the judges score the first 2 rounds as the final bell has sounded. Our first fight from SouthWest Brawl 7 has went all 3 rounds. We'll now head to the judges' scorecards. While we have a moment, I'd like to thank the great sponsors that help make this event possible. We're talking about Modelo Especial, Images and Iron, Bottle Breacher, Spartan 06, A New Beginning Custom Homes, and the host of the official weigh-in ceremony, Halos Ultra Lounge. A big thank you to all the sponsors that help make SouthWest Brawl 7 possible. Try to work the camera in here, guys, to get you a better angle of the decision that will be read momentarily. We head now to our first Modelo's decision of the night. No scorecards read, ladies and gentlemen, but the split decision goes in favor of Joseph Tapia. First fight tonight is in the books, and it was a split decision, a close one, in the running for fight of the night.
certain amount of red.
We are ready for fight number 2. And for this amateur contest, we'll be moving to the 170-pound division. Coming out here first momentarily will be Kemoy Anderson, fighting out of El Paso, Texas, by way of the Bronx, New York. And fighting out of Briggs, MMA. And second, coming out for this 170-pound welterweight contest, Jeremiah Jackson from Desert Dynasty in Alamogordo. Describes himself as a striker and is very excited to get in there and challenge himself in this, his amateur debut. The Desert Dynasty team, led by Coach Anthony Hudson, quite busy tonight. There's Anthony giving his fighter a hug first off. 4 fighters in all, I believe, coming out of their corner, their camp for this event. A big one for them. And again, we thank you for joining us here on Cage Minds Combat Sports News, cageminds.com. as we give you a stream of American Fight League's Southwest Brawl 7 here at the Las Cruces Convention Center in Las Cruces, New Mexico. And if you're just tuning in, this is the second fight. You have not missed much. It's a 13-fight card. We have a lot of action to go tonight. You just saw John Calderon making his amateur debut, and now we're going to see Jeremiah Jackson. Several fighters on this card making that amateur debut, and all with a common theme of just really excited to get in there and taste the leather and throw the leather for real. There's something different from a smoker to a cage fight when you get in there and compete, and these two men are coming out throwing heat right away. Testing each other. Anderson, these big single kicks, looking to see the reaction of Jackson from those body kicks. Jackson charged in, not liking what was happened. Anderson, beautiful reactive takedown into side control, the cross eyes position, as Pat Miletich would say. Anderson, elbows. I believe there's already damage under the Jackson left eye. You see that right arm starting to get pinned down. Anderson wants the crucifix position, wants the big round and pound victory. Jackson feeling the heat, trying to scramble. Beautiful job by Anderson of maintaining the control and the position, staying on top. Now has secured half guard. Again, Anderson steps into this cage with a 1-2 amateur record. So 3 fights of experience under his belt heading into this one. The early takedown in good position here in the first round, landing those left short elbows. Jackson has been able to regain full guard, but as not sure if you guys can see from the quality of the screen, but I can definitely see a red mask starting to go around the left eye and the nose of Jeremiah Jackson. Anderson not having anything to do with that triangle attempt, back on top and in the dominant half guard position. Jackson trying to cage walk, wants to be able to put a burst of energy together and try to flip out of this position. Trying to scramble, but still ending up in the same position. Anderson controlling this first round from the moment he was able to get Jackson to overcommit to the entry. First round is in the books, and it was a good one for Kemoy Anderson. Let's see if we can get you a picture of the goose egg under the left eye. Of Mr. Jackson wearing it after being brutalized for the better part of the first round. Referee Joel Ojeda has walked over and said something to the Jackson corner. Gotta believe, telling him we need to see more. Take a look over at the Kemoy Anderson corner. Cool, calm, and collected heading into round number 2. We're having a timeout before the start of the second round. Ojeda had informed the blue corner that he would be calling in the doctor. Doctor and referee are conferring, and it looks like we will be seeing a round number 2. Big right hand from Jackson, possibly feeling the desperation. Anderson once again, though, starting off with those big body kicks. Jackson looking a little more hesitant to commit after getting taken down in the first round. Anderson, a lot of moving, a lot of feigning and faking, trying to draw something out of Jackson. Sorry about that, guys. Check leg kick was all you missed. Big right hand right there from Anderson. Once again, Anderson gets the takedown. Once a kick was fired out by Jackson, Anderson took advantage of it with the takedown. Left elbows once again starting to inflict damage from Anderson to Jackson. Anderson has been training in MMA for the last 2 years, while Jackson has only been at the gym for a year. We could be seeing, again, the 3-fight differences. This is Jackson's professional debut coming out. Definitely seeing a strength advantage in the Anderson favor. Powerful ground and pound from Anderson. Looking to open up the submission. Going for the key lock. Could not get it. Full mount from Anderson. The ground and pound. And we have a finish. Joel Ojeda has called the fight off in the second round. Kimway Anderson gets the TKO victory. There's the celebration. I see that Ricky Maynez has joined our live stream. Wanted to say hi to him, as we had hoped to see him in action tonight. Unfortunately, his opponent pulling out at the last moment. Look forward to seeing Ricky back in action very soon. Hoped he was going to be in attendance here tonight, as the American Fight League did say they had a special gift for Ricky. Your winner of fight number 2 by TKO at 225 of round 2 is Kimway Anderson. Another fan giveaway For the person asking pro, currently we're in the amateur portion of the card. The second fight just happened, second of 10 amateur contests, and then we have 3 professional bouts, a 13-fight card in all. We're moving on already to fight number 3. First out from Perez Fighting Systems, Thomas Horton. This is going to be a 155-pound contest. Andy Varela is still on the card in tonight's main event. Thomas Horton entering the cage. £135 bout with James Lamendano is going to be our 5th contest of the night. We are on bout number 3. Coming out second, going to be the opponent of Thomas Horton, is Randy Ramos, fighting out of El Paso, Texas. A freestyle fighter representing RHO. Randy Ramos has now entered the cage, and we're ready for our 3rd amateur contest of the night to get underway. Thomas Horton comes to us with a record of 0-3, having been training in mixed martial arts for the last 2 years. Again, the Albuquerque resident fighting out of Perez Fighting Systems in Belen, New Mexico. The officials have exited the cage. The doors are closed. There's the bell. Fight number 3 is on their way. Horton, right hand quickly, got caught for some uppercuts. Desperation takedown. Randy Ramos raining down strikes from above. Horton looking for a leg lock. Horton looking to be in a bad way. And my camera was out of position. I apologize. A quick TKO. Horton got trapped on the ground. In the amateurs, we do see a little quicker stoppages. We see the refs jump in for fighter safeties. They give you a shorter leash on getting beat up. Thomas was not doing enough off of his back. And referee Rule Barata had seen enough, jumped in and waves off the fight. A quick TKO victory here in fight number 3 for Randy Ramos, who will now improve to 2-0, 155-pounder. The official time, 19 seconds of the very first round. Randy Ramos stops Thomas Horton with a TKO. And now when we have a moment before the next fight starts, I want to let you guys know that tonight's event is on behalf of American Fight League, is to raise awareness for childhood cancer treatment. But most importantly, an amazing Titan toddler whom hails from our immediate family of officials and fighters. 2-year-old Mia Ojeda, daughter of referee Joel Ojeda, the bearded referee, who I can actually point over to here at the staging area. His young daughter has been diagnosed with stage 4 non-strombola, probably messed that totally up, cancer. Mia has struggled through 9 rounds of chemotherapy, 15 surgical procedures, recently had 2 massive tumors removed from her abdominal and heart. If you are watching this on the Cage Minds Combat Sports News Facebook page, the link I shared prior to the video going live is a link to where you can buy a Team Mia t-shirt and help the Ojeda family with the expenses as they and Mia fight against cancer. Wanted to let you guys know about that because we're all cheering for Team Mia tonight, no matter whether you're cheering for the red corner or the blue corner. We're returning to action right now. We're going to go back to the welterweight division, and coming out first is going to be Jackson Wink fighter Aiden Brotherton. I had the privilege to interview this young man ahead of this event. He moved from San Marcos, Texas to Albuquerque, New Mexico to chase his MMA dream. Aiden is a 4th degree black belt in Taekwondo, just like another fighter that we're having on the card, has had a long point fighting karate background, then wanted to make the transition jumping over to MMA. If you have not, you can also download the Elite Amateur Fight League app and join in to make your selections on who will be winning these amateur contests. Participation leads to the opportunity to win prizes. Check out the Elite Amateur Fight League app for more details. Coming out next to the cage, short notice replacement, James Pleasant. James taking this fight on about 5 days' notice. Normally competing at 155 pounds, moving up to welterweight to take this fight. Talking to James earlier, he said he's ready to get to work, and on taking the fight on short notice, he's happy to help. If you guys were there with us at Jackson's MMA series up at Buffalo Thunder, you saw James pull out a dominant armbar victory over Eric Dotson, looking to continue the momentum tonight against another Jackson Wink Academy represented in Aiden Brotherton. And again, I thank everybody who's tuning in and joining us here on the Cage Minds Combat Sports News stream of American Fight League's Southwest Brawl 7 here in Las Cruces, New Mexico at the Las Cruces Convention Center. We're underway. Big body kick from Brotherton. Pleasant crashing in hard. Little bit of that karate background from Brotherton, looking for the kicks. Hard body kick from Pleasant. Brotherton, little bit of reddening on the nose from having eaten one of those punches. In and out of the clinch quickly. Brotherton really looks to be comfortable, wanting to use that front leg, the karate stylist. Very Wonder Boy Thompson-esque kind of style. Going upstairs with that hook kick. Pleasant was dominant on the ground in his last fight against Eric Dodson. Looks like he's wanting to get the fight back on the ground once again. Hard leg kick from Brotherton. Pleasant threw the leg kick, and Brotherton was trying to counter with that left straight. Brotherton wearing damage under his right eye. Hard leg kick, almost turned Pleasant around. Hard leg kick once again. Yes, 3 3-minute rounds for each contest here in the amateur division. We are in Las Cruces, New Mexico at the Las Cruces Convention Center as you're watching American Fight League Southwest Brawl 7. This is amateur fight number 4. James Pleasant in the black with white trim against Aiden Brotherton in the black with red trim. That was the end of round 1. Taking you now into the James Pleasant corner. Got a correction. I was told that Pleasant had taken the fight on 5 days' notice. It, in fact, is a 2 days' notice in which he is here joining us. Now taking a look real quick over into the Brotherton corner, led by Seth Abeda. Back to action. Still swinging leather, but not in the frantic pace that we are at in the first round. The hard outside leg kicks from Brotherton have landed several times, and it's Brotherton, in fact, showing a little bit of damage to his outside right lead leg. Lamar Harris's fight number 10. Stinging straight left from Brotherton. Pleasant eats it, presses through with a combination. Steven Robinson will be part of fight number 8. If you go to cageminds.com, we do have quick results up. I can tell you earlier tonight, Joseph Tapia defeated John Calderon by split decision. Kemoy Anderson scored a second round TKO of Jeremiah Jackson. And we had a first round TKO victory for Randy Ramos over Thomas Horton. You're again watching James Pleasant in the blue tape gloves with his back to me against Aiden Brotherton, who you can see with the black and red trim. Pleasant not liking the feel of the body kick with a last-second takedown to close out the round. This is fight number 4 of our 10-fight amateur card, and altogether SouthWest Brawl 7 is a 13-fight card, 10 amateur fights, and 3 professional at the top of the card. American Fight League would like to give thanks to their sponsors, Modelo Especial, Images and Iron, Bottle Breacher, Spartan 07, A New Beginning Custom Homes, and the host of our official weigh-in ceremony, Halos Ultra Lounge. Andy Varela is in the main event, and we are on fight 4 of a 13-fight card. Not exactly sure what time the main event is scheduled for. We are back for our third and final round here in the amateur welterweight division. James Pleasant with the blue tape gloves and Aiden Brotherton with the red tape gloves. Richard Jennings is a part of fight number 9. A strange scramble leads to the takedown. Brotherton positioning the hips. He has taken the back and is securing what looks to be an arm under the jaw. Brotherton with the rear naked choke, but more in a face crank position at the moment, changing up the hands, trying to go gable grip, but it looks like the Pleasant right arm is trapped in between, shutting down that rear naked choke attempt tonight. Brotherton with the transition to the mount. This is the most significant bit of offense we've had in this contest. Pleasant trying to get his feet on the cage, pushes off but cannot get the turn, showing the flexibility there, trying to get his feet up. Raul Barata is yelling at James Pleasant, fight back, show me something. Brotherton still raining down the offense. A good right elbow sneaked in there. The punches are raining down. Pleasant has kicked his legs in. Very flexible here. Sorry that referee Raul Barata is kind of destroying our camera angle. Brotherton still landing popping shots. Let's see if we can move around here. Up. Raul Barata has moved for us. Brotherton still on top, working some short shots. You see Pleasant has his left leg in between. Raul Barata tells Brotherton, watch the headbutt. That leg in between them from Pleasant. He's slipping out, looking for the leg lock. Brotherton's trying to stay heavy on the right leg. Now they fall back, dueling leg locks. 10 seconds left in the fight. Maybe that wasn't 10 seconds, a wrong knock. There was the knock. We go to the decision. Exciting last round, a big last round for Aiden Brotherton. Getting on top, landing some heavy shots. James Pleasant looking exhausted. Took this fight up a weight class on 2 days' notice. What a warrior. Glad that he was willing to come out and help. That is the face of exhaustion there, ladies and gentlemen. James Pleasant literally has left it all in the cage tonight, having to be held up by his corner as we await the decision. Aiden Brotherton feeling very good about his performance, walking around, hands triumphantly raised. We have a moment. Thank you for joining us here on the Cage Minds Combat Sports News Facebook page. You're watching American Fight League's Southwest Brawl 7, and it looks like the decision is in. Aiden Brotherton is your winner by unanimous decision. American Fight League once again like to thank their sponsors, including Modelo Especial, Strike Force Energy, Images and Iron. Not to mention Halo's Ultra Lounge, who was the host of the Southwest Brawl 7 weigh-ins. We get right back into the cage as we have another contest giveaway here for the fans in attendance. Make sure to download the EAFL app for your chance to win prizes and keep track of amateur mixed martial arts in a whole new way. If you're just tuning in, I thank you for joining us for American Fight League's Southwest Brawl 7. We are live at the Las Cruces Convention Center in beautiful Las Cruces, New Mexico. First fighter walking out for this, our fifth amateur bout of the night, James Lamendola, fighting out of Tucson, Arizona. This is going to be a 135-pound bantamweight contest. James is making his amateur MMA debut, has been training in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu for 7 years, and this will be his first amateur contest in MMA, even though he's been training in the sport for 5 years now. Coming out second for this 135-pound amateur contest, hailing from Alamogordo, New Mexico, Manny Villarreal. Fighting out of Desert Dynasty MMA. Getting you right up in the Villarreal corner. We have both fighters in the cage, but it appears that the doctor has left cage side. So we have a momentary break while we have a full house here. They touch gloves and we're off for fight number 5. Big whiffing overhand. They're brawling right away. Tripping to the ground. Lamendola has jumped on the guillotine. And got the tap. Villarreal cannot breathe and tapped out. Quick night of work for James Lamendola, getting the first round submission victory by guillotine choke. Quickly, fight number 5 in the books. Official time of this tap came out. 27 seconds of round number 1. Next up, we'll be going to the 125-pound flyweight division. And right now, live in the cage, we are again going to an EAFL giveaway. Download your EAFL app on Android, iPod, and join along in picking the winners on all of tonight's amateur contests. Enter in for a chance to win prizes. The fighters for the next contest, our 6th amateur bout of the night, will be making their way out to the cage. First up, out of the UFC gym in Tucson, Arizona, it's Cody Davisworth. Again, I thank you for joining us on the Cage Minds Combat Sports News stream of American Fight League's Southwest Brawl 7 here in Las Cruces, New Mexico at the Las Cruces Convention Center as all the photographers walk in front of me. And you just missed an official biffing it into the ring. Oh, yeah. Smooth move of the night. Las Cruces' own Ivan Rios makes his way to the cage next, representing Gracie Baja Las Cruces, a ground fighter who says his favorite submission is the triangle. 1-0 record, or a 3-0 record, excuse me. American Fight League would once again like to thank their sponsors who made this event possible, including Images and Iron, Strike Force Energy, Modelo Especial, and Halos Ultra Lounge, who was nice enough and kind enough to be the host for yesterday's weigh-ins. Ivan Rios somersault into the cage, and we are ready to get to the introductions for amateur fight number 6. Again, our amateur fights are 3 3-minute rounds. This bout in the amateur 125-pound division. Cody Davisworth is one of 4 fighters on the card representing the UFC gym from Tucson, Arizona. Davisworth pawing with the jab. Quick level change by Rios. Davisworth with the counter front headlock. Davisworth looking for a guillotine front choke. Aaron Taylor will be part of fight number 7. This is fight number 6, where Cody Davisworth is trying to isolate the left arm of Ivan Rios. 2 fighters who started off their martial arts career both as grapplers. Rios with the Gracie Baja Club here in Las Cruces, and Davisworth, jiu-jitsu and wrestling young in life. In the scramble, Rios on the back, and it looks like the left arm could be trapped. You have Rios hunting the trap, hunting the choke, still trying to maintain that trap control of the left arm, and forces the tappage with the rear naked choke. And another first round finish here at Southwest Brawl 7. Going to head inside the cage for the official time. The tap becomes officially 108 of round number 1. No matter what corner you're cheering for tonight, there's one corner that we're all cheering for, and that's the Ojeda corner. Be a part of Team Mia. Referee Joel Ojeda's young daughter, Mia, is dealing with stage 4 cancer. She's already went through 9 chemotherapy treatments, 15 surgeries, included 2 major ones. So tonight here, if you're joining us live, we are selling Team Mia t-shirts here at the venue. You can also go online. You're watching us here on Facebook, the Cage Minds Combat Sports news page. The link that we shared before this live stream is how you can buy these t-shirts and help Mia and the Ojeda family pay for their expenses as Mia continues the fight of her life. We've had 6 amateur contests, 4 finishes, 3 in the first round, and 2 of them in under a minute. We're going to be heading right back to the action. Fight number 7, still in the 125-pound division. First to enter the cage in this 125-pound amateur contest, fighting out of Pettis Fighting Systems in Berlin, is Aaron Taylor. Coming out next from the blue corner, fighting out of Las Cruces, New Mexico, Daniel Elamantes, Legacy MMA representative, making his amateur debut. EFAL out here hooking people up. We're going to turn you real quick to take a look at where some prize winners are now. Kicking it ringside. Download the EAFL app and make predictions on the amateur fights tonight. EAFL giving away prizes, looking to build up the amateur scene of MMA as they head into their third year upcoming of amateur team competition. Season 2's winner was the Jackson Wink Academy. Elamantes has entered the cage, and we are ready for our 7th amateur bout of the night. We're once again in the flyweight division, a division that is deep and talent-rich here in the state of New Mexico. Tonight in Texas, actually, in Amarillo, you have last year's Cage Minds Amateur of the Year Award winner Chris Cortez from Force of One making his professional debut. Jesse Tafoya from Jackson Wink is going to be joining the pro ranks. 125 pounds, a deep division here in the state of New Mexico. Two young men here looking to make their mark in the Southwest. Taylor reaches in, big pickup, and the slam has Elamantes on his back. Elamantes in full guard, trying to get a butterfly hook in. Taylor, a former Valley High School wrestler who finished 2nd and 4th in state here in New Mexico, but gets swept there. Elamantes in the mount, stands up, now looking for the neck. Taylor pops his head out frantically. Taylor, who has those wrestling credentials, had told me in this fight he really wanted to work on his striking. Felt that he relied too much on his wrestling in his amateur debut. And as soon as I say that, Taylor catches the kick, pick up, slam, and a dislocated elbow from Elamantes leads to the tap. Elamantes is down and injured. Doctor coming in to see if he's all right. Left elbow popped out. For those of you asking about Lamar Harris, that was fight number 7, and he will be a part of fight number 10. Aaron Taylor improves to 2-0, remains undefeated. Thankfully, Elamantes does not look to be in agony or pain as his left elbow dislocated and popped right back into place. Another early stoppage here tonight, another quick one. Officially, the time of the stoppage is 1:13 of round 1, and it's a submission due to injury. Seventh fight is in the books, fifth finish, and the fourth in the first round. The action keeps on rolling. No time for a break. We are up to amateur fight number 8. First out, representing the Jackson Wink Academy, is Steven Robinson. Robinson will be looking to pick up his first amateur victory, coming in with a 0-1 record. Making his way to the cage next, out of the blue corner, representing El Paso, Texas, and Gorilla MMA with a 1-0 amateur record, Vince Garcia. For those of you wanting an update on the results, you can go to cageminds.com, and we do have the quick results posted as the night goes. Also tweeting out who wins on Twitter at CagedMindsMMA, and we are hashtagging everything SWB7 for Southwest Brawl 7. Once again, I thank you for joining us here on the Cage Minds Combat Sports News stream of American Fight League's Southwest Brawl 7. We're up to fight number 8 here in the amateur card. Vince Garcia told me he was coming into this fight with the mentality to just have fun and wanting to get in there and throw down. Steven Robinson fighting out of Albuquerque, New Mexico by way of Panama, Florida. Said he's also played and had a background in basketball and competed in track and field. Garcia with the takedown in the half guard. Looks like he wants to advance to the mount. Robinson looks to be getting on a hip, wants to get up, but the pressure and striking of Garcia seems to be overwhelming. Garcia, relentless pace, forces the stoppage. Another quick one, the TKO victory for Vince Garcia. Once he got Robinson on the ground, he never let up. An overwhelming pace, no concussive blows, but again, here in the amateurs, it's not about hurting your opponent, it's about sharpening the tools of your craft. So the finishes, the refs jumping in, they come a little quicker. We don't want to see anybody hurt out here. And the judges are getting an easy night tonight with all these quick stoppages. And we'll keep our fingers crossed that it keeps going that way. The official time of the stoppage comes at 54 seconds of round number 1. Winner by first round TKO, Vince Garcia. Again, a huge thanks to everybody joining me via CageMinds.com or the Cage Minds Combat Sports News Facebook page for this live stream of American Fight League's Southwest Brawl 7. If you're here in southern New Mexico, you should be here joining us at the Las Cruces Convention Center in Las Cruces, New Mexico. And again, No matter whether you're cheering for the red corner or the blue corner tonight, we're all cheering for Team Mia. Go to the Cage Minds Combat Sports News Facebook page, and the link that we shared before this stream began is how you could purchase your Team Mia shirt to help a young lady, just 2 years old, battling stage 4 thrombolytic cancer. I'm probably again saying, or thrombolic cancer, saying that word wrong. But again, help us tonight as we're all out here supporting Team Mia, and you can do the same. Check out the website and give a helping hand. The action continues, and we are back with fight number 9. Our first participant is making his way out to the cage. Jonathan Rivera from Tucson, Arizona, one of 4 fighters from that UFC Tucson gym out here representing at SouthWest Brawl 7. As Christopher Cook, photographer, dives out of the way of our camera. Coming out next with the alien mask, representing Desert Dynasty MMA in Alamogordo, Richard Jennings, a 4th degree black belt in Taekwondo, obviously a striker, a lifelong mixed martial artist, or a lifelong martial artist who has started his mixed martial arts training in the last year and a half, leaving the traditional art forms to blend them all together in the cage. And yes, for our Facebook crowd that has been going crazy, Lamar Harris versus CJ Boston will be the featured amateur contest, and it will be the next fight after this one. American Fight League Southwest Brawl 7 cannot be possible without our great sponsors. Images and Iron, Strike Force Energy, Able Sign Co., Modelo Especial. A special thanks to the Halos Ultra Lounge for allowing American Fight League to do the Southwest Brawl 7 weigh-ins at the lounge yesterday. Richard Jennings has entered the cage, and it is the black Venom shorts. Over once again across the cage, if you forgot, we have Jonathan Rivera in the red Rev Gear trunks. referee Joel Ojeda in control of this amateur bout. We're off and they touch gloves. Jennings comes out right away with a kick. Right to the jaw with the right foot. Jennings aggressively coming in with the sprawl, trying to get to the back. Big knee landed in the clinch. Jennings almost took the back, got too high on the ride, flipped over. Jennings, that right hand kind of seems to be slipping into the cage. Took it out before referee Rivera could say anything. Rivera fighting hard in the clinch to try to gain an underhook. Great punches, little punches from the clinch by Jennings. Jennings dropping that level low, looking for the takedown. Rivera with the knee under the buttocks. Jennings able to complete the double leg. Into side control. A dangerous headlock from Rivera. He lets it go. Jennings immediately able to transition to mount. Rivera giving the back. Rivera trying to stand up. Jennings, again, may be too high and could be in danger of losing position here. Great job of posting off the left arm. And instead of Rivera pushing out that arm, Jennings is able to stay on top, keep control of the position, keep chest to back pressure, chest to back pressure. Trying to open up the chin with some strikes. More of a face crank right here. Jennings, though, with a lot of twerk on Rivera. Rivera able to scramble and turn around in the guard. But Jennings throws the right leg over top. Again, trying to secure the back position. It's in these little moments. Jennings just is out position and keeping control, keeping the chest to back on Rivera. The left arm trying to sneak under for the choke. Jennings with little punches, trying to open up the shots. For the first time, Jennings lost the hit battle. Rivera able to transition into top position, but falls right into a triangle. Jennings armbar. The slam. They're down on the ground. Jennings still has the triangle locked in. Rivera trying to survive the last 10 seconds. Will we see a second round for the first time in a while? And we will make it to round number 2. The 4th degree black belt. Richard Jennings also close to a submission there at the end of round 1. We'll look into the Jennings corner, once again being captained by Desert Dynasty head man Anthony Hudson. Take a look across the ring into the Tucson, Arizona corner. Rivera was in bad positions most of that round, but to his credit, never quit, never gave up, kept trying to roll and scramble, kept looking for ways to improve his position. Round 2, once again, in the red with black trim is Jonathan Rivera from Tucson, Arizona. Alamogordo's Richard Jennings in the black with the black socks. Jennings, a 4th degree black belt in Taekwondo. Plenty of funky angles, plenty of crazy kicks in his arsenal that he would like to use. Rivera obviously trying to make this a dirtier, more brawling kind of effort. But to this point, it's been Jennings closing the distance, and imposing his will in the grappling realm, able to take the fight to the ground and control from there, winning the scrambles in the first round. Jennings has completed the takedown here, but Rivera with that left arm under, very deep on the rear naked choke, but Jennings in half guard trying to advance to the mount position. We have a Von Flue choke in process. Jennings moving the mount. I've never seen this move completed from mount. Normally a submission you would see from side control, but it did make Rivera relinquish the choke. Jennings now sitting on top in a strange half guard, 3/4 mount position. Advancing all the way to the mount now. Rivera trying to cage walk, get that energy to push over, causing a scramble. Jennings looks like he's going to lose the mount position, is able to turn back around in the front headlock. Now on the back of Ojeda, Richard Jennings trying to sit back into a rear naked choke, has the right arm this far across the jaw, looking for more like a face crank. Jennings trying to insert the hooks and control the position. It looks like, again, Jennings will win the battle of hips, transition to the mount. Elbows, that left elbow doing damage from Richard Jennings. We've seen 3 fights make it into the second round tonight. 1 finished by TKO. The other 2 led to a decision. Right here, we're in our 9th amateur bout of the night. Richard Jennings there on top, having positional control here in the grappling realm against Jonathan Ojeda. Easily to say here as we are ending the second round that Ojeda will need a big comeback in round 3 to get this victory. Richard Jennings pops right up off the ground, but it takes Jonathan Ojeda a long moment, as you can see, to be able to collect himself. Again, I thank you for joining us here on the Cage Minds Combat Sports News Facebook page for my very first attempt at doing solo commentary at an event. A wonderful event. American Fight League presenting SouthWest Brawl 7. We're at the Las Cruces Convention Center in Las Cruces, New Mexico. This event is a fundraiser. We're all part of Team Mia tonight, helping to support the Ojeda family and their young daughter Mia in her fight against cancer. We are ready for round number 3. Can Richard Jennings find the finish here, or can Jonathan Ojeda pull off a stunning comeback, looking to be quite tired at the moment? They touch gloves. Jennings with the teep kick. Jennings feeling comfortable, got a little lackadaisical, ate a left hand to the chin, but quickly clinches and turns Ojeda to the cage. Jennings trying to put himself in between Ojeda in the cage, trying to take the back, forcing his way into this position. A lot of grueling hand fighting and patience in this position needs to be displayed, or you can get submitted very quickly. Jennings able to disrupt the balance and dragging Ojeda to the ground, has the back position, both hooks are in. Ojeda looking for wrist control, trying to turn into the Jennings guard. Jennings, though, with the left underhook, making sure to put a ton of pressure just with that underhook and keep his chest to Ojeda's back. Ojeda now trying to throw some punches behind himself towards Jennings, obviously in a sign of frustration, but also having to wrist fight and watch out for the choke that Jennings is trying to put in. Again, Richard Jennings, for a 4th-degree black belt, has came out here and showed some active wrestling and grappling. Quite impressive for a young man that has spent most of his martial arts training in the striking realms, putting on a very nice display of groundwork. Again, winning that battle of the hips, Jennings on top has the opportunity where you may see him set up a mounted triangle as he is high up in this mount ride. Rivera able to come out the 5-hole, as they say in hockey, out the goalie's underside. But Jennings still, with the bigger, deeper gas tank at this point, able to stay on top. Not quite a half-guard position. Jennings sprawling out, looking to put that head pressure on top of Ojeda. Little short shots from Jennings continue. And Richard Jennings just tapped Jonathan Ojeda with a knee in the head. Obviously, that is a foul, a boneheaded move by Richard Jennings, who is in complete control of the fight. Jonathan Ojeda, who's already exhausted, is down and talking to his corner. He needs to stand up. And I believe because the blow was non-concussive, we are not going to see a point deduction. Right call by Joel Ojeda to stop, reposition them. Not a concussive blow. Let's continue the fight. Jennings looking to show off some of that striking arsenal now. Couple kicks down to the final 10 seconds. There's the big head kick by Jennings. Ojeda clinches and will survive to see the final bell. But one-way traffic in this fight for the Alamogordo native. Desert Dynasty's Richard Jennings put on a all-around performance tonight, especially considering his striking pedigree. To see the ability that he showcased on the ground tonight, impressive for the young amateur. And yes, the one you've mostly been waiting for here on the Facebook stream. Lamar Harris versus CJ Boston, our feature amateur contest, is up next. No scorecards were read, but the Modelo's Especial decision unanimously goes in the favor of Richard Jennings. Once again, I thank everybody who's tuned in here on the Cage Minds Combat Sports News Facebook page for our stream of American Fight League's SouthWest Brawl 7 here at the Las Cruces Convention Center in Las Cruces, New Mexico. And here it is. We are ready for our final amateur contest of the night. First to enter the cage from El Paso, Texas, Lamar Harris. But I think you already knew that. As Lamar is at the prep point, getting ready to enter the cage. Again, I'd like to remind you guys that Southwest Brawl 7, presented by American Fight League, could not have been possible without our great sponsors, such as Strikeforce Energy, Able Sign Co., Images in Iron, Halos Ultra Lounge, that was host for our great weigh-ins yesterday, and of course, Modelo Especial. We have reached the point of our feature amateur contest for American Fight League's Southwest Brawl 7. Coming out second on his way to the cage, from Las Cruces, New Mexico, fighting out of, by way of Mobile, Alabama, CJ Boston. CJ is stepping into the cage for his second amateur contest, looking to rebound from being submitted at the Jackson's MMA series. A former collegiate football player, CJ Boston. Fighting out of Legacy MMA. Told me his favorite strike is the Superman punch. Interestingly enough, before finding mixed martial arts, CJ had given up on his athletic premises after football. He had kind of resounded to working a 9-to-5 job, but then found MMA and wants to be a part of the fastest growing sport in the world. This one is at 185 pounds. Lamar Harris, as most of you know, fighting out of Sparta MMA. Both men look to be very excited. A lot of energy built up, both bouncing around. This one has the feeling of a fight that will not last long. Quickly, Boston in on a takedown. Harris defending with the guillotine. Boston into a standing mount, ground and pound. On top of Harris, relentless with the punches. The left arm looks to be trapped. A scramble breaks out. Harris pops back to his feet. Harris now in on the takedown. Boston trying to find composure. Almost with the tie clinch. Knee, right hand from Harris, who looks a little wobbly on his feet. Boston back in on takedown. Gets stuffed. Harris went for a sacrifice throw. Almost gave up position. Big right elbow from Boston. Right hand to the chin of Harris. We have a slugfest. Harris looks hurt. Drops down for the shot for the takedown. Boston defending the takedown with a guillotine attempt. Harris looking to recompose. Big right hand. Boston getting the back. Harris holding the cage. Let's go. Harris has turned the position. Boston shows him to the side. A little worrisome right now. The look on Lamar Harris. Harris, though, beautiful drop down, level change. Gets the low takedown. Boston trying to explode to his feet. Another right elbow. The referee jumps in and separates him. Joe Ojeda warning Lamar Harris of some infraction. Big 1-2 from Harris. Low side kick. Runs into a right hand. A left elbow. I think Harris is hurt. Another big right hand from Boston. Falling down for the takedown is Harris. Two big hammer fists into the back from Green. Could have been illegal on the spine. Action continues. Harris is on top. They are scrambling on the ground. Sorry, lost camera for a second. Harris on top. Boston throwing up his legs, trying to create some space. Side control by Lamar Harris, trying to clear out the cobwebs, looking to try and get the crucifix position. Boston powering his way out of it, trying to roll out of the bad scenario. It looks like we're actually going to see a round number 2 with all this mayhem. Lamar Harris ends the round on top. What a chaotic, hectic first 3 minutes we had here in the middleweight division. Who has which corner? Neither fighter knows. CJ Boston breathing hard in his corner. Ice pack on the back of his head. Lamar Harris kind of bent over, breathing hard on the stool. Ice pack on his chest. We are going to a round 2 after what was the craziest round we've had so far tonight. Both guys are young, explosive, and showing the youthful vigor of starting a cage fighting career, wanting to get out there and just swinging with all their might. Big right hand from Harris. Boston is hurt. Another right hand lands. Boston just swinging right back. Not much defense here to be spoke of. Right hand from Boston lands. Right hand from Harris. Harris with the level change back in on the double leg. Boston, instead of fighting the takedown, chose to strike and ends up on his back. Half guard from Lamar Harris. Boston slides the leg out quite easily. Looks to again be posting and getting back up to his feet. Harris backs off, hands on knees, kind of tired. After a hectic first round, these two guys do not have all that they had in the gas tank when they came into the arena. Harris is landing, looks to be hurting Green, but not following it up. Green eating the shots well. I would say scores a takedown, but more like Harris jumped on the guillotine. Here in the corner in front of us, Green's back is against the cage. Harris pulled down for a knee, partially landed. Big leg kick from Boston. Harris with the reactive takedown. Harris able to solidify the position back in the half guard. Both men incredibly tired. Harris trying to advance to the mount. I don't know if CJ Boston has the energy to fight out of this position. Referee Joel Ojeda peering close to the action. Harris looking for the rear naked choke, and we have the finish. Your winner by second round, rear naked choke. Huh? Yeah, looked like it. Second round, rear naked choke victory. The comeback after not looking great in that first round. Exhausted, but victorious. Lamar Harris capping off what was a phenomenal amateur card. We had 10 fights and 8 finishes, amateur portion of the card. Even in a losing effort, CJ Boston told me we'd see a different fighter tonight, and you saw some improvements, really solid improvements in CJ's grappling. Defense, conditioning, still needs some work, but we saw improvements in this young man tonight. Unfortunately, somebody has to lose. Was it round 2 or 3? Officially, the tap comes at 2:46 of round number 2. Your winner by rear naked choke, Lamar Harris. That caps off and finishes out the amateur portion of tonight's card. For the final time, we are in the ring announcing our in-house winner for the AEFL amateur pick'em game. Quickly before the before the professional card gets underway, I'm going to throw in front of the camera the Team Mia t-shirt. These are currently on sale here at the venue. Whether you're cheering for the red corner or the blue corner tonight, we're all part of Team Mia as a young lady is in a battle against cancer. Support if you can. We're going to head now to the professional portion of our card, getting started with Steven Ojeda against Juan Gandara, who's making his professional debut. Making his way out to the cage first, representing RHO, Steven Ojeda, the brother of referee Joel Ojeda, and the uncle of Mia Ojeda. Again, the little girl that we are all supporting tonight. Steven will be stepping into the cage for the third time as a professional, still in search of his first pro victory after a 4-2 amateur run. Once again, thank you everybody that's joining us right now on the Cage Minds Combat Sports News Facebook page live stream of Southwest Brawl 7 presented by American Fight League. And American Fight League would like to thank their sponsors: Modelo Especial, Strike Force Energy, Images and Iron, Halo's Ultra Lounge, who was wonderful host for yesterday's weigh-ins. Oh, thank you. Even though he is so far winless as a professional, Steven Ojeda has faced ultra-tough competition as a professional, taking on Joel Whitney and Cody Hofstetter inside of the Jackson's MMA Series cage. Two very tough martial artists. Our pro card kicks off with Juan Gandara making his pro debut against Steven Ojeda. Ojeda, you gotta figure, is fighting with a little bit more incentive, knowing it's a fight for Team Mia tonight. Both fighters come out early, checking the distance with their kicks. Big body kick lands from Ojeda. Gandara, push kick, side push kick. Kick caught from Ojeda. Gandara lets it go. Gandara catches a kick, has a hold of the single leg, and is able to drag Ojeda to the ground. Ojeda trying to scramble. Gandara looking to take the back, high on the ride, but appears to have the left arm under. Ojeda is tapping as they roll. Juan Gandara wins his professional debut. First round, rear naked choke. And the finishes just keep on coming here at Southwest Brawl 7. American Fight League has definitely been putting on a show here tonight. One more time, if you haven't Download the EAFL app. Play the Pick'em games for amateur MMA and win. Had plenty of winners here tonight. You can be one too. We are all the way up now to the evening's co-main event. Tucson's Jacoby Ortiz coming out first. Going to be taking on Las Cruces' own Wreck-It Randy McCarty. These two guys have an inkling of bad blood. Let me tell you, McCarty called for this fight. Ortiz takes that personally and wants to be able to say at the end of tonight that McCarty should have been careful for what he wished for. McCarty, first MMA fight in a year since having injured his Achilles. McCarty has stepped in the boxing ring once since then, but this will be his return to the cage. It's a special night in which McCarty intends on having fun in the cage here at home. The co-main event is up now. Quite possibly the best walkout in all of MMA is going to happen right now. Let's see if the dancing is back. Ortiz, awaiting McCarty in the cage, is a Big Show vet. His last fight was overseas for EFN Fight Nights Global. Ortiz has also been in action inside of the WSOF Decagon. A Big Show vet, a big opportunity for McCarty here in his hometown tonight. The breakdancing is back. Randy McCarty definitely enjoying himself inside of the American Fight League cage. We had the worm, people. Colby Ortiz, the fourth and final member of the Tucson UFC gym team that made their way out here to Las Cruces, New Mexico tonight to compete, is in the cage. His opponent, Randy McCarty. A fight a long time in the making. For McCarty, just a long road back to the cage. That's completed right now. Feeling the love from the Las Cruces crowd as he prepares for battle. All right, sorry about that, everybody. Totally lost you guys for a second. Ortiz early lunging forward with that right hand. Hands out wide from Ortiz. A lot of fading and flinching. Ate a knee when he came into that clinch against McCarty. McCarty's kick is caught. Ortiz with the takedown. McCarty turned his back. Ortiz dived on top, hunting for the rear naked choke. Ortiz trying to solidify the back position. McCarty, though, is trying to turn into Ortiz. Seems to have alleviated the situation of his back being taken. Able to strike his way off the cage. Back into open space and striking. McCarty firing off his jab. Ortiz winging these big hooks, looks to either be wanting the big knockout or to drag McCarty to the ground. McCarty defending the takedown well, doing a good job of fighting for those underhooks. Eventually, though, the balance gets dislodged, and Ortiz has McCarty where he wants on the ground. Ortiz in the half guard, and I believe I just heard McCarty say, hey, he bit me. McCarty trying to pop up with his hips and be able to stand. Ortiz relentless with this ground and pound, body and head. McCarty with a wizard and trying to cross-face to defend the takedown. Couple short inside knees from McCarty. Still a ton of cage pressure from Ortiz. McCarty able to punch his way out of the clinch. Catches Jacoby with that right hand down the left straight landed. With this southpaw versus orthodox matchup, you know that the big right hand from Ortiz can play a factor. As same the big left hand, right there from McCarty. It definitely stuck Ortiz in the jaw. Ortiz one right back to McCarty, backing him up a step. The big overhands, both parties looking for it. The stutter, step, and start from Ortiz, trying to throw off the McCarty timing. McCarty with that leg kick, once again, though, almost getting caught. You can see it now. Ortiz is trying to use his footwork to distract McCarty and blast him with the big overhand. McCarty would like to work his jab and his overall striking game and then follow up with that straight left. You can see the emphasis from McCarty, the way he's throwing that left hook. He wants to finish the fight with his power shot. Ortiz for his second with his left hand was pawing at the McCarty left hand, trying to play the hand fighting games. McCarty determined to work behind his jab. McCarty, who has professional boxing experience, trying to show it by working behind that technical entry, the jab. Ortiz, again, still trying to distract and explode. Probably unviewable from your vantage point, but Ortiz continually popping in and out his mouthpiece. I don't know if it's fully in there. Both guys land with good, solid connection to close out the first round. Once again, I thank you for turning into the Cage Minds Combat Sports News Facebook stream of Southwest Brawl 7, presented by American Fight League here at the Las Cruces Convention Center in beautiful Las Cruces, New Mexico. This is the co-main event where we have Las Cruces' own Randy McCarty returning to the cage the first time in a year since dealing with an Achilles injury, taking on Tucson, Arizona's Kobe Ortiz. Kobe, a Big Show vet, having fought, as I said earlier, for Fight Nights Global, also having been in the WSOF cage. A good 15 seconds before our minute intermission, Ortiz is off the stool, done with the advice from his corner, and pacing around, ready to get back to action. McCarty still taking advice as we're about to get the round going again. Round number 2 of our co-main event. Here we go. Again, McCarty pawing with that jab. Ortiz coming out this round, hands a bit higher than he started off earlier. Ran into that left straight, though. Had the privilege of seeing Randy McCarty in action several times against UFC vet Frank Lester, against Mono Otero. The one thing you can be sure of when Randy McCarty's name is on the card is that he's going to come out and give 110% effort, that he will come out to entertain and he will come out to fight hard. First time getting to see Kobe Ortiz in person, talking to him early, very determined to steal the thunder of the return of McCarty to his hometown area. Mouth wide open, mouthpiece not in place for Ortiz. McCarty with his back to me. A lack of movement and activity from McCarty, really kind of taking in what Ortiz is doing and trying to figure out where the counter shot's going to land from. A good stiff knee from McCarty as they entered the clinch. Ortiz, the single underhook, and a finger inside the cage from my vantage point. Another big knee up the middle from McCarty. Ortiz working hard in this clinch, trying to cut the legs up the middle, trying to do something to disrupt the balance of McCarty. McCarty trying the crossface to alleviate some of that pressure. And McCarty is able to strike away from the cage and out of the clinch position. Back to that jab from McCarty. Vicious inside right leg kick from Ortiz. A few more of those could do him some good. Looked like McCarty had the opening for that counter right hook, but a little hesitant to pull the trigger, wondering if the time off is affecting McCarty right now. Does he not have that same feeling? Does he not have that same rangefinder? Is the cardio that much more depleted? This is a big adrenaline dump, the return to the cage after an injury, doing it in your hometown. Ortiz, a lot of movement, a lot of feints and fakes. Not much connecting right here. Both pawing each other with lefts that land. Knockdown Ortiz knocks down McCarty, right hand. On top with the ground and pound. Ortiz putting in work. Referee Joel Ojeda looks to be getting closer and closer. Ortiz in the guard. Some beautiful shots to the body. That left hammer fist has done it. And Kobe Ortiz defeats Randy McCarty. And as Ortiz wanted to say, be careful what you wish for, Randy. Kobe Ortiz picks up the victory here in the co-main event of SouthWest Brawl 7 in enemy territory, to the displeasure of the local crowd. You gonna leave? All right, I hit you. Beautiful right hand, set up that knockdown. Great relentless ground and pound gets the finish from Ortiz here in the co-main event. Your winner by TKO at 3:35 of round number 2, Kobe Ortiz. And it is main event time now here in Las Cruces. Time for the SouthWest Brawl 7 featured fight. It's going to be in the lightweight division, 155-pound action. Gerardo Chaparro from Juarez, Mexico, 2-2 record, is going to be taking on Andy Night Night Varela, representing 10th Planet from El Paso. Looking forward to a tremendous main event here at SouthWest Brawl 7. Chaparro, a karate stylist who started off training 5 years ago, I believe, in the MMA realm, has been training karate for a very long time, a black belt. Varela, a staple of the 10th Planet El Paso camp, who expanded his horizons for this fight camp and even traveled out to Las Vegas, Nevada, spending some time with Syndicate MMA. American Fight League presents Southwest Brawl 7 here at the Las Cruces Convention Center in Las Cruces, New Mexico. Once again, I thank everybody for tuning in tonight. Whether you're cheering for the red corner or the blue corner tonight, we're all part of Team Mia, and Team Mia is going to be getting in the cage right now. Again, on the Facebook page, Cage Minds Combat Sports News, we have shared the link right before this live stream started where you can go and purchase your Team Mia t-shirt. Help this little girl in her fight against cancer. American Fight League had a goal of giving the Ojeda family $1,000 to help. Photographers, for some reason, like to kill my camera angles. Ricky Maez is entering the cage, and it has been announced he will be in action June 30th. Ricky Maez announces in June his next fight will be his professional debut.
Today with her. There's been some days where we don't know her too
now. I'm like, wow, I scared him. Well, shit, I caught like 5 different people trying to get somebody to come with me tonight for this. I'm like, I just want somebody in the car more or less.
Yeah, dude, just get this fight going. Yeah, I told.
I was gonna ask for the fire. It's clear now.
Yeah, I told Robert, I was like, if Javier gets better photos than me, I won't be using him anymore.
You see that? It doesn't get more cruises than this. That was one of the comments. Can't get more cruises than this. Yes, after that fabulous dance performance that we've had, we do still have our main event to come here tonight at SouthWest Brawl 7. We will still have Gerardo Chaparro versus Andy Varela. And with the ring girls entering, I think we are moments away from the main event. Once again, thank you for joining us here tonight on the American Fight League Southwest Brawl 7 stream here courtesy of Cage Minds Combat Sports News and CageMinds.com. I thank you all for having been here. American Fight League, thanks you for having tuned in. And American Fight League could not have made tonight happen without the help from Strikeforce Energy, Able Signs Co., Images and Iron, Modelo Especial, and our great host of yesterday's weigh-ins, Halo's Ultra Lounge. We are just moments away from the Southwest Brawl 7 main event, Gerardo Chaparro versus Andy Varela. First to come out will be Gerardo Chaparro. Chaparro walking out to a little Cypress Hill rock superstar, except for we're missing Chaparro. Unsure what the delay is tonight. Hey, Joel. Again, I have no official confirmation of what our current delay is. Thank you for bearing in with us. For those tuned in still, let's all weigh in. What do you think was the best finish tonight? And we have had a ton of them. Hey, Joel, Stand in front of the camera real quick. Like facing me. We also have your Team Mia pins available. No matter who you're cheering for tonight, we're all part of Team Mia. Keep that in mind. And then we are now ready for the main event after that partial walkout for Chaparro. As I want to look back at it, talk about the great finishes we've had tonight. Tonight's event has really been brought to you by the TKO from Ground and Pound and the Rear Naked Choke. The TKO by Ground and Pound has actually given us 3 finishes. And we've also seen a pair of fights ended by the Rear Naked Choke. 120 people. is. We have Gerardo Chaparro making his way to the cage. We will be getting started with our American Fight League Southwest Brawl 7 main event. Yes, Chaparro hails from Juarez, Mexico. Now making his way to the cage. Fighting out of the fighting out of the blue corner, representing 10th Planet El Paso, Texas's own Andy Night Night Varela. Chapita? Our final professional matchup of the night. It is main event time here in Las Cruces, New Mexico, Southwest Brawl 7. We've had an action-packed night. We've seen 3 rear naked chokes, 4 TKOs by ground and pound, a guillotine choke, a split decision, a pair of unanimous decisions, and 1 fight ended due to a submission from an elbow injury on a slam. All leading us up to the main event. 3 rounds at 155 pounds. Referee in the ring for this main event is Raul Barata. A touch of the gloves, and now the face punching can commence. The night and day difference from an amateur to a professional fight. You get to see it on a card like this. The franticness, the high pace of an amateur fight to where you get to the slow, methodical, calculating speed that a professional fight runs out. Also, you can hear the snap, the whip, and just the ferocity of the strikes landed between these two professional fighters. Both men feeling out the water right away. No connection there. A big slip for Varela, who, as you can see from the back of his trunks, it says Syndicate MMA, where he spent a good portion of the camp for this fight in preparation out in Las Vegas, Nevada. Not liking what he sees on the feet, Varela initiates the clinch, looking to drop down, grab a leg. Chaparro fighting desperately, trying to get off the cage. Varela getting in the double leg position, able to get behind the knees, scores the takedown, and we are on the ground. Varela's legs tied up in the half guard right now, but you can definitely tell he's looking to advance to that mount position. Chaparro trying to stand up, trying to use his butterfly hooks. Great top pressure from Varela as he's able to escape with his right arm. Varela jumping over top, setting up the Kimura. He has isolated the arm. Chaparro trying to use his left arm to grab his own shorts in defense of the submission. Varela right now using the rights to the abdomen to try to loosen up the grip. Right now, Chaparro in shark-infested waters, a dangerous predicament. Varela also cinching up an inverted triangle on the back end. Varela, inverted triangle, all the way sneaking out the 5-hole of Chaparro. Chaparro forced to tap from the inverted triangle. First round finish, the submission victory. Night gets the tap. And that'll close out the night of in-cage action here from Las Cruces, New Mexico. Andy Varela defeats Gerardo Chaparro in the main event by submission, inverted triangle in the first round. Stay with me for just a moment, and we will get you the official time of the tap. The official time of the submission is 2:58 of round number 1. That closes out our night here in Las Cruces, New Mexico. SouthWest Brawl 7 is in the books. Andy Varela racks up the submission victory in the main event in all 5 fights. Six fights, and by the tap-out submission, we had 4 TKOs by ground and pound, 2 unanimous decisions, and 1 split decision. Again, thank you to American Fight League. SouthWest Brawl 7 has been a great night of fights. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in to my first attempt at commentary. Hope you guys enjoyed the night.